Not all introverts are quiet, and not all quiet people are introverts. I'm going to say it again. Not all introverts are quiet, and not all quiet people are introverts. Why do we assume that that's all there is to introversion, or like they're one and the same, when that is definitely not the case? Welcome to the Introvert Lens. I'm your host, Kay Janelle. I created this podcast to talk about what life as an introvert really feels like, being misunderstood in a world that often condemns silence, and basically all things introversion, the beauty, the struggles, and everything in between. As someone who felt like I never really found myself when I was younger or as I was growing up, because I felt like I was always dealing with a lot of assumptions and a lot of judgments. I was called weird, mean, rude, stuck up. I could go on and on. I felt like I just never really got a chance to discover myself. So lately, I've been on this self discovery journey. And specifically, the last few months, I've really just been trying to discover what introversion means to me. For a long time, I always thought that quiet and introvert had to go hand in hand. I knew I was an introvert. I knew I liked my space. I knew that's how I recharged. But I always thought that I was quiet because of that. I always thought it was like a one in the same thing. And the more I'm on this journey, the more I discover, the more I really just learn myself, the more I see that's really not the case at all. I am quiet and I am an introvert, but I'm not quiet because I'm an introvert. I'm just quiet. So the way I look at it, or the way I've started to see it, is quiet is more of a personality trait. Quiet is more of like how you express yourself, while being an introvert is more about your energy, how you recharge, and how you handle stimulation. I'm quiet, and one thing about me is like when I'm at the function or when I'm out with whoever doing this or doing that, I'm usually the type of person that I'm enjoying myself. We're having a good time, I'm vibing, but I'm mostly in the background. I'm sitting back. I'm more of an observer. I'm more like a watcher. I'm also someone who likes to stay in the background. I don't really feel like I need to fill every silence. So I'm somebody you will usually find, like I said, in the background. I'm observing, I'm taking it all in, I'm just enjoying myself. I'm not really usually on the forefront. And that is the quiet part of me. That's that quiet, sometimes shy, slightly anxiety reading girl. That's her. And then the introvert in me, it definitely doesn't always make me quiet. There are times where I can be out and I can be lively, I can be talking, I can be joking, like I'm the one even leading the narrative. But then, like, here comes that moment, and I'm like, ooh, it's time to go. Like, I just get that feel, like that. I don't know, that feeling where it's like, okay, my battery has went from here to here, and it is just time to go. That's the introverted me. The introverted me is also somebody who I may have went and had like a great weekend with my friends or my family or whoever it may be. And we have had a time, we've been joking, we've been vibing, it has been a great time. But when I get back, I really just need to go and be in my space and have my solitude and really just feel like I have a second to sit there and recharge, because that is the introverted me. One thing the introverted me needs is that solitude to really start to feel like I'm coming back to myself, to feel like I've had time to just put myself on that little charger, like some AA batteries, just plug myself in. But that's the introverted me. Like, that's not the quiet person. And I feel like it was so important to me because society almost maybe pushes or portrays introversion as, oh, that's a quiet person, that's a shy person. So I just always felt like, okay, well, I'm quiet because I'm an introvert, because I didn't know that I was an introvert. I've been that way my whole life. I do like my solitude. I do like my alone time, like even my hobbies. I like to read. I like to do crafts, work with my hands. I like to draw. Stuff that I do alone. Watch TV shows, whatever it may be. And I just really thought the two went hand in hand. And it may seem like a small thing, but honestly, once I realized that they didn't, it opened so many doors for me, because it's like I stopped feeling like I had to be in this little box, because I would always have these times where I was at war with myself, going back and forth, because I went out, I had a good time, I was talking, I was laughing, I was being social, and it was like I would come back home and I would kind of war with myself because, yeah, I had a great time and nothing felt forced to me. Nothing felt like, oh, I have to be here. It didn't feel like anything like that. It was a great time. But I didn't really understand because I'm like, oh, well, I wasn't quiet. Or, I was actually kind of super talkative tonight. And I struggled with wondering if, like, that was me being fake or that was me being somebody that I'm not. And like I said, I am on this self discovery journey. I am really trying to figure out who I am just as a person, not as a sister, a girlfriend, a partner, just me, who I am. So I did really struggle with that because I was trying to figure out, like, is this something I need to fix? Am I pretending? Am I forcing this? Because it doesn't feel like I'm forcing it. But as society tells it, I'm an introvert, so I should always be quiet, or I should always be kind of closed off or non-approachable or just not really lively. And for a long time, that is how I felt. That is how I felt like I had to be. So realizing that, no, that's not how I had to be at all. There are quiet introverts, there are loud introverts, there are quiet extroverts, there are loud extroverts. The two do not go hand in hand because they're not the same thing. They're not even under really the same category, if you ask me. And it has been such an eye opener. Like, I can now differentiate between the times where it's like, okay, I'm forcing my energy to be another way, or I'm forcing myself to be another way because I feel like that's how I have to be, or I feel like that's what people are wanting me to be right now. And oh, well, yeah, I'm an introvert, but I'm not always quiet. This is just who I am. I'm so multifaceted, and I feel like a lot of people are. I feel like most people are. It's just that society and other people like to be able to put you in this little box, or they like to be able to push you in a little category so they can feel like they figured you out, so they can feel like they know you. And if it's one thing that people cannot stand, is somebody that they can't figure out, somebody that they can't feel like they have pinpointed or stuck in one of those small little boxes. But once you realize that you don't have to be in that box, once you realize that you can just be who you are, it is one of the most freeing feelings in the world. As an introverted person, you do not have to constantly be quiet or meek or subdued or shy or whatever it may be. You are not faking the funk, or you are not being a fake person, or whatever it is when you get around your girls or your family or the people you're comfortable with and you're more talkative, or you have those times where you're more exuberant, or what people would think that maybe an extrovert looks like. That's not what it is. At the end of the day, you being an introvert means that you recharge in solitude. Here we go with this double A batteries again. But being an introvert, that's what it means. That's how you get your energy back. That's how you handle stimulation. As an introvert, you thrive and you get back to yourself in solitude, and for a lot of us in silence, but in your space. And there's nothing wrong with that. But that doesn't mean that you don't know how to have a good time. That doesn't mean that you never want to be social and go out and be lively and have just a great time with your friends. And it's not fake. It's who you are. You can be that person who loves to sit at home and read her books and draw in her notebook, and also be that person who likes to go out to brunch with her friends and have a good time. Even if society tells you, oh, you can't be that, oh, you can't be an introvert and still be going out and being social with your friends. Yes, you can. Now, will you usually see an introvert back to back to back in social settings? If you see her on Saturday out at this big old party, or you're going to probably see her at Sunday with a whole bunch of people at this big brunch, I doubt it. Possibly, but I doubt it. Are you going to see her a third day? As an introvert, no. I can definitely 100% say that you are not, because that is too much social time for an introvert. Introverts need time to recharge in their solitude, in their peace, in their alone time, in their space. That's it. That's what being an introvert means. You do not have to stick yourself in this little category because you are an introvert. Okay, you're an introvert. You know how you like to recharge. You know how you get back to feeling like yourself. You have that, you know that, and that is absolutely great because you know how to take care of yourself. But that does not define your entire personality. It is just a part of it. And isn't that a breath of fresh air? And then when it comes to being quiet, that doesn't automatically mean you're an introvert. There are quiet extroverts. If you have that friend who is always want to go out. She's always like, hey, where we going? We're going for lunch. We going for brunch. Who want to go to dinner? Who want to go to the hookah bar? Who want to do all these things? But usually when y'all are out in the setting, she's more towards the back. Like, you can tell she's having a good time. She's laughing with everybody. Everybody's good, but she's not really that big center of attention, or she's not the one usually like leading the conversations. She's more the one sitting back, observing, smiling, just chilling. That's her. But she's always like, hey, I'm ready to go be social. I want to. She's an extrovert, but she's also maybe a quiet person. She has a quiet personality. So although she thrives in these moments and she thrives in these social settings, that's how she gets back to feeling to be herself. That's how she charged her little AA batteries. She is still a quiet person. And she may not be super loud. She may not be super exuberant, because that's not what makes her an extrovert. Because loud and extrovert also do not go hand in hand, just like quiet and introvert do not go hand in hand. These are two different facets of your personality, or these are two different facets of kind of what make you who you are. I don't know how to describe what I'm trying to say, but they're just different. They don't go hand in hand. And I feel like, again, society can push that on us, or push that you have to be this way because you're one, or this way because you're the other. But that's just because they want to be able to put you in a box. It's hard for people to feel like they can't figure you out, or they don't know what's going on, or they don't feel like they have control. But that is not a you problem. That has absolutely nothing to do with you. You don't have to smush yourself down to fit in these little boxes that they want to put you in. You don't have to dim your light to fit in that little category that they want to put you in to make themselves feel better. You don't have to do any of that. You don't have to change who you are to make them more comfortable. Who wants to live like that? Why would you? That's not your responsibility. That is not on you to do. And once you realize certain things, like, it can be so freeing. I know it may sound like something small, or it may sound like, girl, I mean, okay, you shouldn't. Like, cause yeah, when I say it, I'm like, girl, how did you not put two and two together? Because I have times, sometimes when I'm with like my friends, or especially when I'm with my best friend and we're just having a good time, I'm sitting here yapping it up. I'm not quiet at all. And then, like I said, I would just think it was a fluke or a mistake, or maybe I was forcing myself. But that is not the case. And now that I really just look at it and look at all these moments that I had me second guessing myself and who I was and if I was pretending, it makes me realize that, yeah, duh. Like, girl, it was right in your face that they're not the same thing. But I just felt like that's what society says it has to be. So that's what it is. Introverts are quiet. Quiet people are introverts. That's what it is. That's what being an introvert is. When at the end of the day, it is most certainly not. You can be a quiet introvert, a loud introvert, a quiet extrovert, or a loud extrovert. Quiet and loud are personality traits and expressions. Introvert and extrovert are how people recharge. It's how people handle stimulation. They do not have to go hand in hand. The biggest thing I have taken from this is, do not let anybody stuff you into a box. Do not let anybody tell you who you have to be, who you need to be, who you can't be. And definitely do not let them tell you that because you're this, you can't be that. Oh, this can't go together. Oh, you can't be this way and also that way. You can't do this and also feel that way. Yes, you can. A lot of people feel like you can't be an introvert and still go out and have a good time and be social and laugh it up and just be a fun person. But yeah, I'm an introvert, and there are times that I go out and I'm social and I'm laugh and I have a good time and I have fun. So clearly you're not telling the truth, because I'm the evidence. I'm exhibit A, B, and C. I do it. So clearly you're wrong. And you can continue to be wrong, because I am going to continue to be who I am. And it's amazing. If there is one thing I hope you all take from this, it is that do not let anyone tell you who you are. Do not let anyone tell you who you can be. Because who are they to limit you? Who are they to dim your light? Who are they to tell you that you have to fit into this category because that's what they want, that makes them feel more comfortable, and so you need to do that? They are nobody. They don't get to make that choice. And when they tell you that you can't be this and also be that, just smile in their face, because you are evidence that you can be this and you can also be that because you're doing it. Oh, and what are you gonna do about it? Okay, be who you are. Be who you are unapologetically. Always, always. I don't care if it makes them mad. I don't care if it makes them uncomfortable. Be who you are. Be the best version of who you are. Fight for who you are. Always, always, always. There is no one size fits all for personalities. There is no one size fits all for who you can be and who you can't be, what you can like and what you can't be. You. Like, people come in all kinds of colors, shapes, sizes, all of it. Be you. You do not have to fit the narrative. You do not have to fit who they think you should be. I know. I am a naturally quiet, introverted black girl. There are so many people that have been angry that I don't fit their narrative, that I don't fit their stereotype of who a black woman should be. Guess what? You're gonna have to keep being mad, because I'm going to keep being who I am. I don't care about your narrative. I don't care about your stereotype. This is my book. This is my story. I am the author, and I am the only one who will ever write a page in this book. So feel how you feel. Okay, friend, it's about time for me to go. I'd love to know your thoughts. How did this sit with you? Comment or leave a review to let me know. And of course, don't forget to follow and subscribe so we can chat again. And if you want to support, like and download this episode so that our friends can find the show. Talk to you next Friday. Love you bunches.